Hi, and welcome to God in 10 Minutes. I'm Jack. Now this time we're going to talk about Jeremiah and see how he fits into the lost tribes, because we have a dilemma of who can be the king. See, and if you don't understand all the lost tribes teaching, you come up with some weirdness that doesn't fit, okay? The key is Jeremiah. Now, Jeremiah 1:10, okay? Wait a minute, that's not, this is 8, Jeremiah 1:10. So Jeremiah, and he gives his genealogy and all that, and in verse 10 it says, "See," God talking, "I have set thee this day over the nations, over the kingdoms." And he prophesied to a lot of nations, but this is mainly the two nations of Judah and Israel that God is talking about here. But he says, to root out, to pull down, to destroy, and to throw down. He did that. Boy, you can find all that stuff in the Bible. What you can't find is the last part of the verse. It says, and to build and to plant. And he never did that. You look at his whole history and you can't find any place where he built or planted. Well, God's not a liar. So sometime in Jeremiah's life, he must have built and planted those two kingdoms. That's the key. Those two kingdoms. Not just Edom and Ammon and Elam and all those other nations that he prophesied against, Egypt, Babylon, okay? But Judah and Benjamin, the two nations of Israel. He will plant them, the seed, and they will grow. How did that happen? How did that happen? Well, a little bit of history. At this time, Nebuchadnezzar had already conquered the nation of Judah, and he set up, took the king away, put him in prison. He set up Zedekiah as the king, a puppet king. He ruled for 11 years, okay? But after a while, Zedekiah let his ego get the best of him, and they were doing okay. He said, "Oh, let him, pay him tribute and all that stuff," and he rebelled. Well, Nebuchadnezzar was a big-time guy, right? And he was going to take that. He came over and knocked the shillelagh out of him anyway. See? King tried to escape with his family and some soldiers and stuff through the wall in the back door and everything, but he got caught. Nebuchadnezzar, he might have been a mean guy, because I can see him saying, "Okay, I'll show you who's boss. The very last thing you're going to see while you're alive is me killing your sons." And he kills all 7 of his sons right in front of him. Cuts the line off. Boom. No male heirs can descend to the throne now. Then he puts out Zedekiah's eyes, puts him in chains, takes him to Babylon, and he dies there in chains, blind. So now we got the dilemma. Who's going to rule? Why is it a dilemma? God told David, "David, you'll never want a man to sit on the throne." David is out of the line of Judah. Jacob gave the rulership of the family to Judah, gave all the good stuff and the rich stuff to Joseph, but Judah got to rule. So if there's Israelites around in a place, Judah has the right to rule. David was out of Judah. Zedekiah was out of David. Zedekiah's gone. He's in prison. All his sons are gone. There are no male heirs left of David to rule over the Israelites. But Nebuchadnezzar didn't do all of his homework, or his scribes didn't, because he didn't know that God made provision for that. God's like the CIA, right? It's all the details, right? So what we want to do is look at Numbers 27, Numbers 27:16. Is it Numbers 27? Yeah, Numbers 27, which is 227:16. What is God saying? He's telling the people, if a man die and have no son, then ye shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter. The girls came and said, Moses, we haven't got any brother. My dad, he just died and there's no son. Now, we don't want to be cheated out of our inheritance. Ask God. He asks God. God says, yeah, they can do. Not only them, but he goes down through a whole big long list of family members. See? So, if the king's inheritance is the throne, then the daughter can be the queen. Oh, well, Nebuchadnezzar didn't know about that. And that's where Jeremiah comes in. Jeremiah, when you do a proper study, you find out he's Zedekiah's grandfather. Well, wait a minute. Zedekiah's father is dead already. And Jeremiah is there. He's an old man, right? But he's there, and he's his grandfather. And now we've got these daughters of the king. Well, who gets to be the guardian of the daughters? The daughters are the word of Jeremiah. Jeremiah has the daughters. Let's take a look at some of that. What is that, 835? 835. Jeremiah. $15:10, right? Right, 15. He says, oh God, I wish, things are bad, things are really bad here. I mean, Nebuchadnezzar's doing his thing and everything. Well, the Lord told him, he says, verily it shall be well. Not with thee, with thy remnant. Oh, thy remnant, that's anybody who's attached to Jeremiah. It'll be okay with your remnant. I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well. Whoa! In the time of evil and affliction. You're going to be okay, Jeremiah. And then over in verse 14 he says, and I will make thee to pass with thine enemies into a land which thou knowest not. Which thou knowest not. For a fire is kindled in my heart. He's going to have to go to a place where he's never been. He might have knowledge about the place being there, but he's never been there. Additionally, it says, with your enemies. Now, in another place, Nebuzaradan, the head guy of the army for Nebuchadnezzar, says, Nebuchadnezzar said that you can do anything you want. I'll help you do it. You can go to Babylon. You can go wherever you want. You can do whatever you want, and I'll help you. That last verse that we talked about there says he'll go to a land that he doesn't know about yet with his enemies. I think they supplied the ship for him to go. It's on a ship, as you'll see. But Jeremiah's going to be okay. He's going to be entreated by his enemies, and he's going to be able to do whatever he wants and go wherever he wants, and he will go to a land. Okay, what's next? 19. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, if thou return, and then I will bring thee again, and thou shalt stand before me, and if thou take forth the precious from the vial, thou shalt be as my mouth. Let them return unto thee, and let them... take the precious of the from the vial, the precious daughters, the kingly throne, the position of rulership. Okay, he's going to be your tribe. You'll see. It's coming. It's coming. 41:10-16. 41:10-16. Nebuchadnezzar comes. He beats him up all already. He takes Zedekiah away, kills Zedekiah, and he lets Gedaliah and a few vine dressers and really, really poor people. He can be the governor of them. But there's another guy who says, well, I'm out of the kingly line, I should be the governor. And he comes and he kills him. Kills him, and he takes away all the people. Okay? And then Ishmael carried away captive, that was his name, Ishmael, carried all captive all the residue of the people that were in Mizpah, even the king's daughters. Ishmael's got the king's daughters with him. Okay? And all the people that remained in Mizpah, whom Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, committed to Gedaliah. Okay? The next one, 43:5-7. But Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces took all the remnant of Judah that Ishmael had over there, that were returned from all the nations whither they had been driven to dwell in the land of Judah. Johanan says, Ishmael, you're not getting away with that. He goes and he kills Ishmael, right, and all his buddies, and brings all the people back. The king's daughters were there, weren't they? Huh? Watch this. Verse 6, even the men and the women and the children and the king's daughters